This is from the Charlotte Dobre subreddit. Sister in law's meltdown at my wedding. Ripped dress, arguments, and a lot of regret. Dear Reddit community, I never thought I'd be writing a post here, but the last few weeks have been so Reddit worthy that I can't keep it to myself. Let me give you some context first. I'm a 30-year-old woman who met my now husband, 33 male, online 8 years ago. I moved to his city and we've built a house together. During the pandemic, he proposed and we started planning our wedding. My husband's parents live in the same city and he has a sister, 36 female, who used to live 30 minutes away with her husband and child. My relationship with my sister-in-law has always been tricky. I usually bite my tongue and just try to avoid conflict. A bit of backstory about her. She and her husband had a house, but he was constantly unemployed, spending all of his time playing video games. She managed the household, worked, and cared for their child alone. Everyone supported her. My now husband, her brother, did their entire garden, and their parents paid for their house mortgage because they couldn't keep up with their finances. It was always odd. They couldn't afford a new roof, but bought a fully decked out electric car. They couldn't pay their mortgage, but went on 3-week vacation. About a year and a half ago, her marriage fell apart and the divorce was rough. We all supported her and helped with everything, including her son. She now lives in her own apartment, still in the same city as us and her parents. Now on to the wedding drama. We got married 4 weeks ago. Thanks to COVID, we had plenty of time to plan the big day. Since I hate being the center of attention, we meticulously planned every detail to help me feel more comfortable. My now husband chose his sister to be his best man. The day of the wedding, I booked a hair and makeup appointment for myself, my sister-in-law, and my mother-in-law, 62. My family, who came from out of town, arranged their own styling. When I arrived at the salon, my sister-in-law was already getting her hair and makeup done in the exact style I had chosen for myself. I had shared my look with her weeks earlier, hoping to feel more confident on this big day. Seeing her copy my style made me feel incredibly insecure. The stylist then tried 4 different hairstyles on me, none of which I liked. In the end, I had to settle for the 4th one because we ran out of time. Feeling like a white ball with a terrible hairstyle, I quickly got into my dress and headed to the ceremony. I only saw my family when I walked down the aisle since they were coming from out of town, and I didn't see my maid of honor, who was my sister, until an hour before the wedding. That was part of the plan, as I thought it wouldn't be a big deal since everything was carefully scheduled. The ceremony went off beautifully. We had a gorgeous vineyard setting, the weather was perfect, and everyone had fun. I even managed to push through my insecurities and enjoy parts of the day. Then things took a turn. Hours later, I noticed my sister-in-law getting increasingly drunk. She was dancing alone across the dance floor, telling everyone about her failed marriage. At one point, while stumbling around, she stepped on my wedding dress and ripped it. I had to use 5 safety pins to hold it together for the rest of the night. Later, I noticed one of the staff rushing to grab cleaning supplies because my sister-in-law had vomited in one of the hallways. I thought nothing of it at first, just drunk behavior, but it got worse. A while later, my now husband informed me that his sister was sitting in the hallway with their mother, crying like a child in her mother's arms. All our guests could see it, and my husband and I decided it would be best for her to go home in a taxi. When my husband told his sister we called a taxi for her, she yelled, "Fuck off! Leave me alone!" As the taxi arrived, we asked my father-in-law to help get her in it. He did, clearly embarrassed by the situation. A loud argument broke out on the dance floor between my in-laws. My father-in-law was furious, saying, "This is not about her for once. This is about her brother today." Oh my God, finally a story where somebody's actually trying to get somebody other than the golden child a little bit of attention on their day. So, father-in-law, you get points for that. He also insisted that the mother-in-law stay. She stayed, but she spent the rest of the night telling every guest she spoke to about her daughter's heartbreak and how her emotions resurfaced at our wedding. It was a total mood killer. The wedding quickly fizzled out after that, and we even had time to clean everything up ourselves. Now, 4 weeks later, I look back on the wedding with mixed feelings. It was a beautiful event with great food, and almost everyone had a good time. But the problem, what most guests remember from the last couple of hours, is the drama. Since the wedding, we haven't spoken to my sister in law or my in laws. Honestly, with all the mixed feelings I have, I'm okay with that. My husband is pretty angry with his family, as parts for my family and friends who didn't know them before, they now have plenty to talk about. And I keep getting reminded of the situation as people constantly ask me about it. Oh my gosh. So, sister in law acts a fool at the reception, gets drunk, acts a fool. And that's all that everybody remembers from the wedding. I'm going to say that seeing as your sister in law was 37 years old, granted, divorce is not easy, okay, by any means, especially when you have a child. It's a loss of a relationship, it's a loss of a partner, it's a loss of a lot of things. But I call BS as to why she was acting that way at your wedding. I think she was acting way personally at your wedding because she had just recently split up, but she wasn't the center of attention. She wasn't getting everybody's attention to go, oh, you poor thing. How can we this? How can we that? She already had it because your husband's whole family was already financially supporting them. She was probably looking for emotional support, but seeing as that had been going on for years, there probably wasn't much left for them to give her emotional. But what she did get to see is a beautiful wedding and realize that the attention wasn't on her. So let's drink a little bit more, drink a little bit more. To me, it seems very sideways, like she might have done that on purpose so that she could then say and do the things she wanted to do and blame it on the alcohol. But that's just my opinion. What's yours?